Good evening. I would like to call to order the Keizer City Council in regular session. It is Monday, March 2nd, 2026, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Parsons?
She is excused this evening.
Councilor Kohler?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Council President Starr?
Here.
Councilor Christopher? Here. Councilor Dran?
Here.
Councilor Cross?
And Councilor Cross is currently excused, and under special orders of business, we will then change her status.
Youth Councilor Guptill?
Here.
All right, thank you. If you are able, I ask you to rise and all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for joining us on this, looks like a beautiful pre-spring evening. Before we go into our planned special orders of business, I would like to ask Council President Starr to put a motion on the table to suspend the rules.
Absolutely. I move that we suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. Council President Starr, motion for Councilor Sarita Cross to appear electronically.
I move that Councilor Cross be allowed to appear electronically tonight.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council deem it important. I'm going to make a one
Friendly
modification.
amendment. Yep.
Yes. Deem it important that Councilor Cross attend electronically and be considered in attendance. Does the mover and second accept that modification?
Affirmative.
I do.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, one absent. The status for Councilor Cross is now present. And glad to have you here electronically, Councilor Cross. With that,
Is she somewhere there?
they're going to have to adjust the screen to gallery, if you would,
She's
please.
not going to be on camera.
Oh, she's not.
Okay,
She's,
yeah. That way, if we go to gallery, then we'll have some
Okay.
easy background, but I'll let you guys figure that part out. Yes. In the meantime, let's go to our planned special order of business, which is a proclamation for National Disabilities Awareness Month and National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And with us today, we have Grace Kilgore from Essential Services LLC to talk about these, and then I will issue the proclamation and ask you to receive a copy on behalf of the people of Keizer. So if you come up to the front here.
Which one's on the left or the right?
They're both on.
Okay.
The little red light should be illuminated.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. As Mayor Clark said, my name is Grace Kilgore. I represent and work for Essential Services LLC. We're based in McMinnville, but we work all over Oregon. So thank you, Mayor Clark and Council, for having us. I will say I feel a little underprepared for today's meeting. However, I'm never underprepared to talk about how underrepresented our community is and how grateful we are to be able to work with them, alongside them, and employ individuals in our community to work with them as well. If there are specific questions, I'm more happy to answer those as well. But diving into Essential Services and what services we provide, as you know, we help those that are in the intellectual and developmental disabilities community. We help them in their homes and their communities by providing DSPs, also known as direct support professionals. These direct support professionals, this is their employment. For some people, it's a career, and for some people, it's a lifestyle. So it's a stepping stone, and then it's also a career for them to do lifelong. It's very rewarding. Our clients are all over Oregon, as I mentioned. Essential Services hosts free events every month, like minimum 3 to 5. Shout out to the Rec Keizer. Actually, they're the ones that notified us that this was going on this evening and that they'd want us to represent and speak. We do partner with them once a month, and we host our bowling event there every third Friday of the month. We have about 150 maximum clients that come to this event, and it's a place for them to socialize and connect with those that are maybe on the same level, have the same interest, shared hobbies, someone to relate to. And I will say these events are also opportunities for our DSPs to relate to other employees who may be going through the same things with their clients. So it's beautiful watching this community connect with one another, but also having the opportunity to work alongside them. It's not a one-size-fits-all community, so having lots of like-minded individuals who can help boost each other through it is very important. So thank you for allowing us the time to speak during this month and bringing more awareness to our community.
Thank you so much for sharing what you are doing and helping us to bring awareness into our community about the abilities and the value and what a treasure people with a variety of abilities and disabilities are in making our community whole. So thank you so much for that. Does anybody have any question for Ms. Kilgore? All right, with that, I would like to read the proclamation, and then we will do, if you want to stay put for just a moment, I'll read the proclamation, and then we'll do a presentation in front here that we can share on social media.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas in 1987, President Ronald Reagan first proclaimed March as National Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, urging Americans to provide encouragement and opportunities needed for people with developmental disabilities, quote, to lead productive lives and to achieve their full potential, unquote. And whereas in 1988, Congress established October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month to educate about disability employment issues and celebrate the significant and wide-ranging contributions of America's workers with disabilities. And whereas not all disabilities are physical or visible, and ongoing education and awareness improves our understanding for accessibility community-wide, including places of employment. And whereas inclusion and employment of persons with disabilities provides opportunities to achieve full participation, economic self-sufficiency, and independent living. And whereas the City of Keizer is committed to support dignity and opportunities for people of all abilities to lead productive lives, which includes increasing access to good jobs. Now, therefore, the Keizer City Council, assembled here in regular session, does hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 as National Disabilities Awareness Month, and the month of October 2026 as National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and calls upon employers, schools, and community organizations to work together to promote and expand opportunities, accessibility, and employment of people with disabilities, and to urge our community to be welcoming and inclusive of people with disabilities. So that is the proclamation, and I'm going to come up and present that to you, and I would invite council to be part of a picture that will be part of the outreach for our community to make sure people realize this is important for our entire community.
Absolutely.
Where do they want us?
So you can be in the picture.
I'm getting fired.
Oh, you're fired?
Where would you like me?
Right here with council.
Tuck. Yes, tuck, like this. Oh.
Tall person. Yeah, arrange them.
Arrange them.
Put Kyle right here. Next to.
Try moving him.
Thank you so much for coming today.
The same color. We didn't get the memo.
Look at
You
him.
always get the blue memo, don't you? Oh, here, Kyle, stand this way. And you guys should push that way.
I can be seen.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Everybody, National Disabilities Awareness Month.
Yes,
All right. Okay. That will conclude special orders of business this evening. We will now go to committee reports. And the first on the agenda is the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association Annual Report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Don Davis. I'm the secretary for the Southeast Neighborhood Association. Colleen is just getting off work and should be here shortly, but I think I'm going solo tonight. I I did email the report, so hopefully you have that in your list, but I thought I'd just kind of summarize, go over what we've done this last year. Our average attendance was around 10, which actually is continuing to improve each year. Issues we've addressed from the traffic down Alder after middle school's release, graffiti, Ben Miller Park, and the different issues that we have there from abandoned vehicles, vandalism, graffiti, advocating for a need for a camera there to help out. Safety at school, crosswalk by Ben Miller Park, the Beaver that was there at Claggett Creek. Anything really that was brought up from our neighborhood of concern or we tried to always address and work towards resolving those issues. Activities, one of the big ones was we partnership with the Southeast Keizer Community Center, which is located at the Mennonite Church off Candlewood. And each week, they actually have a free dinner for those who want to attend. And we partnered with them especially for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, back to school, on providing meals. I know they had provided, I think it was 45 backpacks for kids in need. Keizer Fire Department open house, Weddell Community Resource Fair, our national night out this year, we held at the Elks Club in collaboration with the Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association. Did I get that right? Yep. Okay, good. And we had over, believe it or not, 500 in attendance. Also hosting State of the City election forums, having city and community partners present at our meetings. Also having members of the Southeast Neighborhood Association really attend as many city committee meetings, special events, and service projects, just to name a few. Our efforts that we put forth to solicit participation. We have, our Facebook page has 329 followers, email lists of 25, the use of door hangers, we put a banner on Ben Miller Park advertising that the National Night Out, lawn signs, local business and organization partners such as the Rec, Grass Hut, Salem Keizer Senior Center, also advertising with Keizer Times and Keizer Chamber of Commerce and the banner that we have at the Keizer Community Fields. That's just a short review of what we've accomplished, what we've tried to do as a community in helping, hopefully, be a part and a strength to the community. Also, on the agenda that I have here and everything, we felt that we meet the bylaws for the city that we've established. And also, just would like to this time recognize the passing this last year of Ken Gerloff, who is the founder and past president of the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association, and all his contributions to SECNA and the city of Keizer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was very efficient. A lot of chock full of great information. Thank you. Councilor Kohler, you are the liaison to Southeast Keizer, are you not?
I am.
All right. Would you like to make a few comments about this neighbor association that you spend time with?
Thank you. I very much would like to. I've been working with Southeast Keizer Neighbors Association for several years, so it's not like I just showed up there. The advancement that they've done in the last couple of years is amazing. From from checking and some help with some other neighborhood associations with their bylaws, their door hangers, their advertisements, their, all the different kind of things, and the things that the current president and board are doing is stellar. When they were passing out neighborhood associations to be a part of this year, Mayor Clark said, now, do you want to switch neighborhood associations? I just kind of looked at her and said, nice try. So I'm very proud of what's going on and what's happening and the progress that y'all are making. Thank you for the work you're doing for your neighborhood and for Keizer.
Thank you.
Any other comments or any questions? Yes, Councilor Christopher.
Is Secna the oldest NA, neighborhood association, or is it Keizer?
That predates me.
I think it's Secna. I think Ken Gerloff, I think he is the godfather of neighborhood associations.
Wow.
I think he is.
I know it goes back to the 80s.
See?
Yeah.
I don't think Gubser
Yeah.
did. So that was Ken. He was just a force of nature for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And follow up on that, we do miss him. One of the last things he did was come to the Keizer Community Dinner.
Yep.
And sat with some folks, and we had a good time visiting. You could tell he didn't feel real good then, but he came because it was important to him to be part of the community.
Absolutely.
It really was. He did a wonderful job. And during the tough times, especially around COVID with having to shut down, adapt, figure out how to keep people still communicating, taking care of needs in the Southeast Keizer area, and battling his own health issues. I think he did an amazing job setting the stage for where everybody is today. So thank you for continuing his great work. I think it's a great way to honor his legacy.
Thank you.
Did you have a question? I heard possible question.
Well, maybe it is a question, but it just seems to me with Counselor Christopher's recognition that Ken was kind of the grand poobah godfather
He
of the
was.
neighborhood associations. Maybe finding something to do in Ben Miller Park in his honor or in his memory, whether that be a rose bush, a tree, a bench, a something.
That'd be
I just,
wonderful.
I don't know who I'm looking at.
I'm looking at
at
the-
everybody, so.
I'm going to look at Counselor Kohler and to the Neighborhood Association.
Let him make a recommendation.
Yeah.
So thank you, Madam Mayor and Council President Starr, that, and I'm sure Counselor Christopher had something to do with that too.
No.
But one of the things that we have talked about is how can we honor Ken and how can we do that, whatever it is we do. And we've made some attempts to get a hold of his family to get permission to do that. And that has not happened yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, bring back an idea. We want to honor him.
Yeah, if there's something that the Neighborhood Association would like to do in his memory, that because of his position within the organization, and then bring that idea back.
Well, Ben Miller Park is a perfect example. I mean, he lived pretty close to it, and that was his baby. I mean,
Yes.
every day you would find him, it was pristine, and it's because Ken took care of it.
Yeah.
He was instrumental in actually getting it built and partnering with, I think it was, Ben's Rental. It
Yeah,
was
well, the
named
Miller
after it.
family,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was Ben
yeah.
Miller.
And so I think that's more than fitting.
So, yeah, bring something back about what you would like to do there, and let's make it so.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Council President Starr, would you like to put a motion on the table?
Absolutely. Let me be able to read it first. I move the Keizer City Council accept the report of the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association and extend recognition to the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association for an additional year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council accept the report of the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association and extend recognition to the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association for an additional year. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, one absent. Thank you so much, and we look forward to what's going to happen this year.
Thank you.
Good job, Don.
With that, we have a volunteer coordinating committee recommendation for the Keizer Public Art Commission. Mr. Brown?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Ms. Bissett has this item.
All right, Ms. Bissett.
All right, Mayor and City Councilors, there are currently 2 positions open on the Keizer Public Arts Commission. Applications were collected and the Volunteer Coordinating Committee interviewed 2 candidates for the 2 openings. They've made the following appointment recommendation for your consideration. Mario Salazar to position number 1 and Stacy Madsen to position number 6, both for terms expiring June 30th, 2028.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions on the appointments or the staff report? Council President Starr?
I move that Keizer City Council accept the recommendation of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee and appoint Mario Salazar to position number 1 and Stacy Madsen to position number 6 on the Keizer Public Arts Commission for terms expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council accept the recommendation of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee and appoint Mario Salazar to position number 1 and Stacy Madsen to position number 6 on the Keizer Public Arts Commission for terms expiring June 30, 2028. Any discussion? Somehow I knew. Councilor Christopher?
So I just want to say, it has been really fun filling in for Councilor Kohler. His committees are great. And this was perfect because they were putting 2 people on to Keizer Public Art Commission. And we're always full, like we never have to wait. And this time we did. But let me tell you, it was worth the wait. Both of these people, Mario works in design, art and sign design, and Stacy is just all over with art. She's a practicing artist herself, multimedia. I mean, they're terrific, and they're going to be terrific on this committee. So it was so fun that I got to fill in when they decided on those 2. It was great.
Very exciting. Anything further? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 1 absent. That concludes, so committee reports. I should look at my pile. Let's go with Michael de Blasi, who's going to report on the.
Multimedia in the house.
Yes, we do. Multimodal.
Oh,
Close. Multimodal.
so dang
safety.
close.
Buy something.
Yes,
Quasi.
good to see you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, staff. Good to see all of you. We recently had our multimodal safety committee. I still default to the old name sometimes. Unfortunately, the opening where we had the appearance of interested citizens was a bit sad. 2 neighbors along Shoreline came to talk about how one of the neighbors, her cat had been struck by not 1, but 2 vehicles. One hit the first time, went away, and while she was trying to slow down the car that was coming next, ensued, hit the cat again. That was, their concern is about speeding. As I believe all of you are aware, there was a speed sign that was put on Shoreline, and there was quite a bit of positive feedback on that at first. It seemed to be working as people could see what they were doing and knew they had to slow down. But at least anecdotally from the public citizens who were testifying that night, it seems like the efficacy is starting to decline, maybe going in, kind of fading into the background as people drive past it. The West Keizer Neighborhood Association person, Carolyn Holman, was there that night, and she mentioned that, again, that it was positive at first, but they haven't kind of surveyed folks to see if it's still effective, but I think that would be helpful from the West Keizer Neighborhood Association to reach out to the neighbors. And so, one of the things was their idea about perhaps putting in some type of other speed control measures or slowing down traffic measures. And that the West Keizer Neighborhood Association, they had previously, were going to use the neighborhood traffic management plan process, but then, see, I guess it kind of got fast forwarded to the sign, so they haven't used it, but they're gonna look into using it again.
Before you go to the next thing, is that section on the list for the speed trailer for just another appearance in that area? Since we're coming into the spring and some people are feeling a little, their oats, if you will. So I'm looking at Chief, if there's a way we can get Shoreline back on the list, if you would check. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems, being how far the street goes and kind of is becoming a convenient roundaway around River Road for people. So I'm sure that just people feel, oh, I can go a little bit faster here because I'm not stuck in River Road traffic.
Right.
So
And construction.
that also led to some discussion about how we've talked about in the past about lowering speed limits. One of the things was because there's kind of a grace mile per hour, if you will, for drivers, and that's partly because of, as Officer Powell was mentioning, you know, it depends on your tire pressure, the tire size, you know, your speedometer may be not quite accurate, and so they try to give drivers a little bit of grace in plus or minus, but if the speed limit then is creating that situation, that's why we've been talking about reducing the speed limit. And that led to our project list discussion, and one of the things we've been talking about is Hirsch Sangster working with Officer Powell to kind of come up with hot spots. And unfortunately, Hirsch wasn't able to attend the last multimodal safety committee meeting, so we didn't bring it up. So in April, we're going to bring up what they've discussed. And one of the things with the speed limits was also, or at least the lowering the speed limits, was the cost, because every time you go from one speed limit to another, you have to have the sign that tells the driver, hey, you're in a new speed limit sign or speed limit zone. So that's one of the reasons why we're not there yet. But it kind of led to a discussion of, there's all these issues that we would like to discuss bigger picture with the city council. And so we made a motion to have our committee have a work session or sessions with the council. And so I don't know the scheduling of those, but I'll leave that to whoever is the calendar lead. Okay. And some of the topics were, in addition to speeding, was the neighborhood traffic management amendment, plan amendments, because it's not long in the tooth like it had been, but you know, it's been a few years since we did our major renovation, and now we need to look at to see if there's any tweaks. 2 years?
Yeah, did it too. Yep.
In 24, yeah. Previously, it had been 1999 to 24, so. So then we did talk about, we're trying to come up with a list of protected pedestrian crossings. And so I came up with a list that I presented to the committee. We put it out to the neighborhood associations who've provided feedback. I created a poll, which unfortunately, I probably should have picked a different poll because it ended up being one of those ranked choice votings where if like whoever wins the first one, all the other votes go to them. Oh. So it's not quite what I wanted. But we did get data, so data is data. Unfortunately, it was odd. The winner was Lock Haven at Windsor Island, which I didn't expect that one.
Huh.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. So I personally, I voted for Lock Haven and Verda because I thought that's a busy street right by a bus stop.
Yeah.
And, you know, Verda is a major street too that comes into Lock Haven.
Yeah.
But I'm going to aggregate all the data, and I think we're gonna rely more on neighborhood association input because they know a lot more than we do about each individual area. let's see. And then during committee member input, our youth liaison, Laszlo Mendoza, brought up that he felt like there was a safety concern. So the street that's takes you to the back entrance to McNary, there's kind of like a side stub street that students are walking from that neighborhood, which would be south of McNary, walking to that back way by the church, by St. Edward's, and then go into campus that way. And so there's obstacles, or visual obstacles, that drivers don't always see. So he was thinking maybe we might need something to draw the pedestrians to the attention of the drivers more. I don't know. We don't want to put a stop sign there because it'd be kind of an awkward place for one, but I don't know if speed humps or a flashing beacon might be a little expensive for that area too.
Mike Griffin and Officer Powell looked at it. They're gonna look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be school district? Is that?
No, I
Is that
think
on the
it's a
city
street.
road?
It's not on the school property.
No.
Okay, it's between River Road and where it enters the school property, somewhere in there?
Right, when that work, you can either go to the facility, assisted living, or the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I walk there
I think it's
fairly
a private
frequently.
street.
It is a private.
Is it?
I don't think
Oh.
it's public.
Oh,
So they're gonna, but I think Officer Powell and Mr. Griffin looked at it on the map, and I think they were gonna discuss it offline.
okay.
So, no, but thank you to the youth liaison for bringing that to attention, because that might get to the property owner where they can make some improvements for their clientele as well. So,
Yeah,
well done.
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I brought up during committee member input, because I noticed the street cleaner, the sweeping truck, we had, I guess, a problem with the account or the contract, and we got a new person, but it looks like they're maybe issuing another request for proposal. One thing I thought was weird, I don't know if I brought it up that night, was I guess that seemed like it should have been something that was brought up earlier to multimodal safety, because it impacts bike lanes and stuff like that, so. And then the last major thing I would say would be how I asked our new Public Works Director, or at least through the chain, if she'd be interested in doing some tours of neighborhoods to kind of introduce her to the neighborhood associations, as well as introduce her to individual neighborhood concerns. And so it would be kind of on the same mindset of the Parks Department, where you all went to different parks and talked about issues there, yeah. So that's, we still need to hammer out the logistics, but that'd be something we would really like to do. Probably have a neighborhood association person or two, one or two multimodal safety committee members, Public Works. So, yeah, our council, yeah.
Ms.
So-
Blaylock,
Yeah.
hang on, Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Councilor. Mayor, I would just like to say that I have had some discussions with Mike about that and getting on to the agenda, and I would love to have a tour. I'm just trying to get back on my feet. So once I do, though, I would love to have that tour and learn about what you guys are working on. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and I think we're going to reach out to the neighborhood association to see if they want to participate, and then have them come up with the places they want for us to visit. Let's see, and the last, I guess, bit of good news is with the Verta project, I guess ODOT had overbid it, so there's money that goes back into the street fund. And we also received $850,000 for Verta on the east side between Shamawa and Dearborn. 80% of the design is already complete. I would like to put out to City Manager Brown, if it would be possible for traffic, I keep saying it, multimodal safety committee, some or all, I don't know how that would work, get to take a look at the design, just to see if, I know 80% is pretty far down the line, but at least have some comments, and maybe in the future, earlier on in the design, to just presented to us so we can possibly throw out some ideas. And that was it for the meeting. Oh, and I won't be able to be at the next meeting, so Vice Chair Sangster will chair it.
Okay. We covered a lot of territory.
I did, yeah.
Yes,
It helps
indeed.
when you have the notes in front of you.
That helps. Also covered a lot in the meeting. Council President Starr, did you have anything that you want to follow up on?
I think that was a great summary of the meeting, and I think having a joint work session between the committee and council will be an opportunity just to have all of these conversations on these issues all at once. So I think we talked about a date in the summer.
June?
June 8th.
Yep, perfect. So there you
Okay.
go.
All right, sounds
June
good.
8th?
All right.
And then, and I like the idea that we're taking additional look at the neighborhood traffic management plan because we don't want to do a large leap. So if we keep refreshing and refining it in progress rather than let it sit, I think we'll be much happier with its performance. So I think it's a great idea. Regular tune-ups, I like that. Maintenance. Counselor Christopher.
So I don't know what subjects we're going to cover at the work session, but one of the things I would really like to cover, or at least talk about, is the money that ODOT overbid for Verda. I would like that to stay on Verda. I wasn't aware that that project, I mean, multi-millions of dollars that it isn't the whole road.
No.
It's only from Shamawa south to the Parkway.
Correct.
I'm sorry, Dearborn.
Dearborn,
south to the
Dearborn,
Parkway.
yeah.
And so the other part, we're constantly getting concerns raised. And we've got multifamily housing, yeah. So we're adding more and more folks to Verda, and we're really good on Verda up to, past Calmia, north of Calmia. It's only Dearborn to Calmia that we have to fix. So I'm hoping that that money can be used to try to fill those gaps in so that all of Verda that is a critical north-south collector. And so you're gonna there's more cars on there. We've got to make it as safe as possible.
Yeah, the addition of the sidewalk on the west side has certainly been
Yeah,
beneficial.
Yeah.
But now the east side is the,
big
it's got-
sore thumb.
Yeah, it's got the
Yeah.
deep ditch and
Yeah, deep
narrow
ditch.
shoulder, yeah. One thing we've talked about in the committee is how you have 2, maybe 3 different speed limits coming into the roundabout at Chamawa. I know it's 35 on that stretch, that narrow, short stretch between Dearborn and Chamawa. It's 25 as you go the rest of the way on Verda.
Correct.
I can't remember if
What Shamawa is?
Chamawa is 35 through there or 30. 30, yeah, so you
It's
have-
30?
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh, so it is speed limit bingo.
yeah.
Roulette.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
not realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah, we talked about that a while back and weren't able to get that actualized. So I'd love to put that back on the list for conversation.
I would too.
Pieces.
Work session.
That sounds like great stuff for work session. So June 8th, mark your calendars. We'll have the work session with the city council and the multimodal safety committee and people who are interested in transportation in Keizer.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. But wait, there's more. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Counselor Kohler.
At least I wasn't on video this time.
Actually, then you were right in front of me.
Chair de Blasi,
Yes.
thank you for coming and talking to us about a lot of different things. To me, it will always be Traffic Safety Bike Day. So don't.
Whatever.
Easier.
Welcome to the 21st century, Mr.
Yeah,
Boggs.
That was.
I'll die here pretty soon. So
Hopefully
I
not by a
did-
car.
you want.
Hopefully not by a car.
One of the things I was going to report on in my counselor report later, but I'll bring it up now since we've talked a little bit about it. I had 2 different people come up to me this last week and say that they really appreciate the new street sweeper contract and the way that they are helping and trying to not sweep the same day that garbage is in that particular area. So that's made a lot of difference for them, and they just wanted to say, thank you. And I said, okay, I will mention it.
All right. I didn't realize that. but you're right, because people put out their cans and then the street sweepers gotta go zigzag.
Right.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
All right. Fantastic. All right, Jane, I know you're here for volunteer coordinating. Would you be okay being on hold until we get to 9A? So we do it, as part of that agenda item? Okay, thank you very much for your flexibility there. Any other committee reports? Any other neighborhood association reports? Youth counselor,
I do actually.
okay?
Well, I guess this month is also Women's History Month, and the Homegrown Theater is doing a play in honor of a female scientist, Marie Curie, I believe it is. It is only this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, and it's free for anyone with an Oregon Trail card. Otherwise, it is $15 per person. So if you guys are interested in doing that, it is just this weekend. So this is the only week you can go and see that. The other thing is Victory Academy Learning Pod, which has been, it started in Keizer and then it's kind of moved over a little bit into Salem, but they're doing a Betsy Ross play this month also on the 9th. So that's this next coming Monday at 7 p.m. At Salem E, if you would like to do that. I'm actually Betsy Ross in it, so.
Oh, you are?
There you go.
You're Betsy Ross?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Well, we'll be here for, long range planning task force, but
That's all I have.
yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, let's go to public comment. This time is provided, let me go. For citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We do have one public hearing scheduled this evening. That is a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign sale agreement and receipt for earnest money with C4M Investments LLC for 782 Olson Street. So if you're here for that, please stand by. Other than that, before we go to, spoken comment, I would like to acknowledge for the record 2 emails for written public comment, one from Dennis Salazar, resident of Keizer, in favor of open areas at Keizer Rapids Park opposed to the construction of additional buildings, and from Bill Kincaid, resident of Keizer, concerned about the tree removal permit, which for folks watching, that is item 9E. So I want to acknowledge those for the record. And I don't have anybody signed up for public comment. Is anybody here who would like to address the council under public comment? Okay. We will then go on to our consent calendar. Council President Starr, what are the items on tonight's consent calendar?
Our consent calendar for tonight reads, item A, approval of the February 17th, 2026 regular session minutes. Item B, a resolution authorizing the city manager to award and enter into a contract with Koch Excavation, Inc. for Bob Newton Park Sports Court, sidewalks, and parking project.
Thank you. Are there any polls? Seeing none, Council President Starr?
I move that the Keizer City Council adopt the consent calendar as read.
Second.
The consent calendar has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 1 absent. All right, let's go on to our public hearing. Public hearing is now open for resolution authorizing the city manager to sign sale agreement and receipt for earnest money with C4M Investments LLC for 782 Olson. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This item is before you. This was a parcel of land that is locked in between private ownership and Lock Haven Drive. The address is deceiving. It's a predated address of Olson Street, but really this is off of Newburgh Drive, and it requires an easement across 4 different properties, 3 of which are owned by the same person or entity, C4M Investments. So we did speak with neighbors on both sides that are adjacent to it, and the best offer that we have for it is $40,000. The city is required to show proof of value, which we have in the packet there under the city assessor's website. It has the value at $90,400. That value, of course, is only good if you can develop it. And so it really has only value to this company, C4M Investments. And you are required to hold a public hearing before disposing of property. So that's, the request today is to hold a public hearing and then upon closure to recommend the sale of the purchase sale agreement.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions on the staff report? Okay. Is there anyone here who would like to testify under this public hearing? I do not have anybody signed up. Nobody, everybody's rushing. Okay, nobody wants to testify under this public hearing. Council, any additional information prior to closure of public hearing?
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Lindsay.
I might be able to supplement a little bit of, my understanding is this property is an odd little property because it's behind that sound wall. And it was, part of the purchase of this came about because of when they put in the sound wall. So it wasn't anything that the city had otherwise. So it's also just sort of a random little piece of property that it's actually good to probably get it back onto the tax roll, so. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for that clarification. Anything further before I close the public hearing? Public hearing is now closed. Council President Starr?
I move to adopt resolution R2026, authorizing city manager to sign a sale agreement and receipt for earnest money with C4M Investments LLC for property at 782 Olson.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, authorizing the city manager to sign sale agreement and receipt for earnest money with C4M Investments LLC for property at 782 Olson. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, one absent. That concludes our public hearings for this evening. We will now go to administrative action. Item 9A is resolution amending volunteer coordinating committees process for appointments to city council committees, repeal of resolution R 2023-3424. City manager. And Jane, if you want to come up. Ms. Bissett, who's got this one?
Ms. Bissett.
Okay.
Mayor and City Councilors, the VCC has adopted the original process for appointments back in 2004, and it's been amended through motions of their meetings. They've had 8 amendments to the process. The council adopted the most recent process in November of 2023. So recently at one of their meetings, there was some confusion and they expressed a desire to streamline their voting process. And so in an effort to help clarify the process, they had several meetings and reviewed their process document. And Chair Jane Erb is here tonight to answer any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Herb.
Thank you, Mayor Clark, Council President Starr, and council members and staff. Thanks for having me. Good evening, Jane Herb, Keizer resident. I'm here on behalf of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee. And I think Ms. Bissett did a good job of describing our issue, but I'll just, if you wouldn't mind, do a little description, and then if you have additional questions, I'm happy to answer. Okay.
Please.
So the main piece that we needed to clarify and streamline was when we had multiple seats open on the same committee and multiple applicants that we were interviewing. And so I'll just give you a quick example that was really interesting and made us kind of go in this direction. And so there were 4 of us voting members one night, and we had 2 applicants, and we had 2 positions open on a committee. And so in our previous procedures, we had to vote each position separately. And so let's say we had position 1 and position 2, then we had candidate A and candidate B. So we voted on position 1, and 2 of us voted for one of the people, and 2 of us voted for the other person. And so it was a tie. And it was really for just, there were 2 positions available. And so it also makes, well, this is an aside, but whoever gets that first position, the other person is sort of made to be a loser, which they shouldn't be if they were going to be voted in on that next numbered position. So anyway, in our procedures, we then took a second vote. And so the very same thing happened. So each of us still stuck with our candidate, candidate A or what have you, and candidate B. And so it was a tie yet again. And so it became clear it's better if we changed. We would hope that you would agree and adopt these new procedures, but it would be better if, and which is what we ended up doing, we voted for both positions at once, so position A and position B, and each of us was able to vote on up to 2 candidates. So then as long as the candidates get 50% or more, they would win and be on those committees. So if there were 3 positions available and 5 candidates, each of our volunteer coordinating committee members could vote for up to 3, because that's the number of positions available. And you could also vote a no vote. And so if there were only 2 of the candidates that one of us thought was appropriate for the positions, we might just vote on 2. We might just vote on 1. And so, but in any case, any candidate would have to get at least 50% of the vote. The other caveat is that, so basically those position numbers are really meaningless. It's not that the position is different because it has a different number. But sometimes they can be different in length of term if we're replacing somebody who has resigned or what have you. So we thought about that a lot and had several discussions about that too. And we determined that really the position length didn't matter. If there were 3 positions open, we wanted to be able to vote on all 3. When we're interviewing the candidates, we ask each one of them, would you prefer, to finish out the remaining term? Say position 6 is only 1 year, and the other 2 positions are 3-year terms. So we would ask each of the candidates what their preference was. But ultimately, we thought it was important that, say all 3 candidates, we voted on them, they all got 50%. So each of them would take one of the open positions. Then we thought it was important if our committee made the determination on which candidate would fill each of those positions. And the reasoning was that maybe somebody was brand new to the community, they had never attended one of the committee meetings yet, and so we felt like, well, maybe they should just take the year position and see if it's for them, and then they could certainly reapply after that year. So we wanted to have that latitude as far as our committee to make the decision on where we placed the winning candidates. So I hope that I've described all of that, and so that it was somewhat clear. It's hard, I know, when you haven't been in the middle of that kind of voting, but please ask me any questions if there are any.
Well done. And I'll
Okay,
go
thank
to
you.
Councilor Kohler has a question or comment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Chair Jane.
My pleasure.
This wasn't something that we just kind of come up with and said, hey, let's try this. But this has probably been like 4 or 5 months, 4 or 5 different meetings that we've talked about this and tried to refine it. And, okay, what about this situation? How can we make this work? And so I think what we've come up with has been something that a lot of thought went into it and a lot of work. And I just want to say thank you for all the work that you did there.
Thank you.
Questions? When we get to the actual language, to get at what you said, there is one minor adjustment I think needs to be on voting 5B. Because you mentioned, and it's been very important, one of the things we added when we did the update in 2023 was making sure that we were clear that we had an option for our VCC members to vote no recommendation. Giving that, and that would be for every position. So, and you said it so well, up to. So if there's 3 positions available and member, a member believes that they want to vote for 2 of them, but they have a no recommendation for the 3rd position, the candidate being advanced to recommendation to city council has to have a majority of those present. So I want to make sure it says that, and it doesn't quite. So I'm going to be making one adjustment in the final language for us to consider, but is to make sure it says that.
Very
So
good. Thank you.
the no recommendation is very powerful for each of our representatives to be able to make sure that they feel comfortable with all of the recommendations going forward. So
Absolutely, yes.
I just want to make it clear, I'm going to be making that comment. Other than that, I don't have anything additional on that. There was one other change that is being added as well, and that was some clarification. That's been something we've talked about for a long time.
4 years.
4 years, I think. Yeah, 4 years. And that was on the background check because it's been on our application and nothing was done with it. So now we have clarification and a process. So, and it's not VCC. You guys don't do it. That goes through as the staff when the background checks are run and that information is processed and is done according to protocol. So whatever you get has been through that process, so you don't have to deal with it. And I think that's important to note. So
Yes.
is everybody who comes before you is fair and equitable, and their civil rights have been duly administered.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate that.
Is that fair?
And they've been vetted before they get to them.
Yes, it's all done. So that's not something you have to deal with, as I understand it. Would that be a fair assessment, Council President Starr?
Yes, those checks have been completed and conducted prior to anything coming before BCC, and I believe those are handled by Chief Copeland and City Manager Brown. So,
Right.
utmost of confidentiality.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to protect the confidentiality and civil rights of people in our community. Absolutely. All right. So I appreciate that, but for people who are looking at the red line going, that's a change, but it doesn't affect the work that the VCC will be responsible for doing. Okay, anything else that you wanted to share from that meeting aside from making Councilor Christopher extremely happy with 2 amazing people for the Public Arts Commission?
I'll second that. We had just 2 absolutely wonderful candidates, so that was great. And so that was our last 2 positions to fill on all committees, unless anything has come up since a couple of weeks ago. But we're happy to have all the committees filled, and now that you filled those 2, it's wonderful. So thank you for that.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, anything further before we put a motion on the table? Council President Starr?
I move to adopt Resolution R2026, amending volunteer coordinating committee's process for appointments to city council committees and repeal of Resolution R2023-3424.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R 2026, amending volunteer coordinating committee's process for appointments to city council committees, repeal of Resolution R 2023-3424. And I do have one, as I mentioned, adjustment I'd like to make under voting 5B, to change the language to say, so I'm going to read the entire thing with the change. If a candidate does not receive a majority of the votes of the members present, the names of the two candidates receiving the most votes shall be voted upon in the second vote. Here's the change. If a candidate receives a majority vote of members present, they shall be forwarded to the city council for consideration. So the way it said before, the candidate with the most votes, the problem is that might not be a majority. And as stated by Ms. Herb, they need to receive a majority. So that would achieve that goal. So would the council accept that as a friendly amendment?
Sure.
I'm looking at, okay. So,
Madam Mayor?
Mr. Lindsay.
Can I read this back just to make sure I got it?
Yes.
So the sentence, the last sentence on 5B should say, if a candidate receives a majority of votes, they shall be forwarded to the city council for consideration.
I put in of members present, is that not necessary?
It's not necessary, I guess it's implicit, although we can say of members present, because more specificity is better, right? Of members present.
Yes, because I don't want anybody to think that it's a majority of the committee.
At large, yeah.
Doesn't have to always be 4, because we're doing everything by majority of those present.
Okay.
But also acknowledging that a majority vote could be for the no recommendation. And then that would be what got forwarded or put back in the pool.
Okay. So I just want to make sure, if that's your amendment, that we make sure that gets put in there.
It is.
Yeah.
Are we good with that?
Yep.
All right, it is amended. Anything further? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously with 1 absent. Thank you very much, Ms. Herb, and to the members of Volunteer Coordinating Committee. We'll now go to item 9B, which is approval of the Community Diversity Engagement Committee RAC cards. It's coming back to us, a lot of work. Ms. Brown?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This will go to the staff liaison, Mr. Wood.
Mr. Wood?
Madam Mayor, City Council, the CDEC RAC cards are back for a second time for your review. Tonight, you can either approve the RAC cards as is, recommend additional changes, or take no action. With that, turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Councilor Christopher?
So there's two, am I on? There's 2 sets. One is a postcard, and I have no changes to the postcard, but to the RAC cards, on the back of the RAC cards, they've shortened the names of the committees, and I think that it should be the actual names of the committees. So for example, it says Parks and Rec instead of the Parks Advisory Board. It says Community Diversity instead of
Community
Diversity and Engagement Committee. It says Arts instead of Keizer Public Arts Commission. And planning, I think, is correct.
Planning Commission.
Well, Planning Commission.
Yeah.
But I think we should use the formal, actual names. But that's it. And then,
Oh, can I add one more?
yeah,
Where's budget?
well, where is budget?
Oh, where is my budget?
And the only other
Can we
thing,
just say all committees that are, make sure they're
Yeah.
all listed?
yeah, with
Those are the
their
ones.
formal names.
Yeah.
And on the RAC card, there's a QR, that's it, yeah, just the formal names.
And add budget,
Oh, yeah, add budget.
please.
Yeah, it was wait, is it the postcard? It's the no, the postcard has
There's
a QR too.
Front and back.
Yeah,
And a back and a front. And there's a QR code for both.
yeah.
Was one of them missing the QR code?
No, they both.
I thought
have
it was too, but
there it
no.
is, yes,
they
that's
have
Yeah,
there.
they both have them.
Yep.
I think it's because it was front and back.
Okay,
That's what I was thinking too, Mayor.
okay. Because that was
No.
the only thing I saw, was the names
Yeah,
and
and
budget.
Tammy and I talked right before the meeting, and she said, yes, it should be the official, the
Okay.
formal meetings.
All right, anything else? So with those changes, we could do a motion to approve?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, do it.
I move the Keizer City Council approve the Community Diversity Engagement Committee rack cards with those changes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve the Community Diversity Engagement Committee rack cards with the changes as discussed. Any further? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent. All right, going to the printer. Item 9C, Amphitheater Use Fee Waiver 2026 Keizer Rapids Summer Sounds Concert Series. Mr. Brown.
Madam Mayor and Council, Assistant City Manager Wood has this item.
All right, Mr. Wood.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council. Valor Mentoring is planning on putting on a summer concert series again this summer at the amphitheater. It's going to be a 7-concert series, which is free to the public. However, they will have food, beverages, alcohol available for sale. The total concert series fees to be waived is $3,675, and that includes all of the fees associated with using the amphitheater for those 7 days. In addition, they're also going to be coming back during budget time and requesting that we increase the city funding from $10,000 to $13,000. And with that, I'd be free to address any questions, although I don't have a list of the bands yet.
Okay, I think that was the question.
No.
No, all right, Counselor Christopher.
How many concerts did we have last year?
We had 7 as well last year.
We did, okay.
Yep, it's going to be going from July 18th until August 29th.
Mark your calendars now. Counselor Dren.
So in this, is it just assumed that we're allowing alcohol, or is that a specific, there's no alcohol in the park, right? Without a specific, typically, don't we give a, so this is just inferred that that's approved? Because for Keizer Fest, it's specifically asked for that alcohol and smoking can be done in the park.
Correct, yeah, through the amphitheater application, that's where that process gets approved by the park manager.
Okay.
Good question. Anything further? Council President Starr.
I move that the Keizer City Council approve the waiver of amphitheater use fees in the amount of $3,675 for Valor Mentoring's 2026 Keizer Rapids Summer Sounds Concert Series.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve the waiver of amphitheater use fees in the amount of $3,675 for Valor Mentoring's 2026 Keizer Rapids Summer Sounds Concert Series. Discussion, and I do have one question. Is this the rental fees only, or does it also include electricity?
This does include electricity.
It is, okay. And were there other, I don't know that we have any other fees for the amphitheater other than the rental and the electricity. Would that be correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So this is everything on that part. So anything else that comes for the production of the concert series would be through the budget process and then through their own sponsorships.
That is correct. They will be required to have security as well as additional porta potties, that kind of stuff, but that's on their dime.
And their insurance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Did that answer your question, Councilor Kohler? Okay. All right. Anything further? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously with one absent. Mark your calendars for the summer, folks. It's March. Let's go to item 9D, the vegetated stormwater facility bridges. City Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This item was discussed back in the fall, and the council put a clock on this, so it's, we need to bring it back to you for permission to extend it. So Ms. Blaylock, the Public Works Director, has this item.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, council, mayor. As Adam mentioned, this was brought up in a previous meeting back in June. Some residents on Lydia Street were issued notices of violation for constructing bridges across the vegetated stormwater facilities. Staff met with those residents and postponed the enforcement to September, and then prior to that, they petitioned the council for an additional amount of time. The moratorium that was instituted expired on around the 14th of February. Staff has been working on solutions, investigating engineering alternatives, contacting CIS as directed by the council, and as well as being in contact with the DEQ about the compliance issues related to the issue. We still don't have a viable solution, but we are still working on that. And since we've had a little bit of a change in leadership, we're recommending that the council allow staff more time to work with the residents and get more information on the matter. So we are requesting that the council provide an extended time amount, so to extend that moratorium. If it's not extended, then enforcement could be pursued. So with that, I'll turn it back over.
All right, any questions on the, so how long did the extension, this is for not to exceed 180 days is the request?
An additional 180?
Yes, that is the request.
Okay. Perfect. Councilor Kohler?
Well, you know, Ms. Blaylock, thank you, Madam Mayor. I can't believe, I mean, you've been here how long now? You don't have this all figured out? I think this is a very, a request that we should honor, and thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, Council President Starr?
I move that the Keizer City Council extend the moratorium on the enforcement order requiring residents on Lydia Street to remove the bridges constructed in the public right-of-way not to exceed 180 days.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council extend the moratorium on the enforcement order requiring residents on Lydia Street to remove the bridges constructed in the public right-of-way not to exceed 180 days. For clarification, 180 days from now, from today. Okay. All right. Anything further on discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, one absent. That takes us to item 9E, resolution adopting tree removal and planting tree application permit fee. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This item is also going to go back to Mrs. Blaylock. And you adopted the tree ordinance, and this is the resolution that would amend the fee. So I'll pass it over to the Public Works Director.
All right, Ms. Blaylock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council, and Adam, Mr. Brown. As he described, the council adopted the code for the tree preservation ordinance on February 2nd.
Sorry, is your microphone on?
It is.
There we go.
Okay.
You're gonna have to eat it.
Thank you. The council adopted this on February 2nd, and the code requires a person to obtain a permit before cutting down or topping, removing, transplanting trees on public property. It also requires the permit to include a fee, which is set by council resolution. The fee would generate some revenue to help offset the administrative cost and inspection for evaluating trees for requests for removal. The attached resolution sets the tree removal and planting permit application at $75 and provides for automatic adjustment every 3 years using the Consumer Price Index, starting in 2027. Staff's recommendation is to take public comment and then adopt the resolution after the comments are received.
Okay, thank you very much. And I want to acknowledge for the record, we did receive the one written comment from Mr. Bill Kincaid, who stated, quote, "As a retired contractor, I dealt with similar permits and tree issues in other jurisdictions. In some cases, it prevented building ADUs and/or became too expensive to proceed with a project." An ADU, in this case, would be on the private property, so this would not apply and an ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. So would this apply in an application for an accessory dwelling unit?
This does not apply to private property. This is only for trees in the public right-of-way and on public property, city-owned property.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Council President Starr, then Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Blaylock, so when we passed this on February 2nd, it was my understanding that we were simply codifying what was in practice. But I don't remember practice being a fee. That was not at least in my recollection, that was not discussed at all.
Yes.
That's accurate. It is codifying what is in practice. The fee was not in practice, but that is, and again, I wasn't here when this came through.
Gotta blame the dead guy.
Yeah. But it's the resolution, the ordinance that said that a fee was included, it would be required.
Whoa.
Could I chime in if you want?
That's exactly.
So the ordinance does say that there could be a fee set by council. The council could set a fee at zero. It's within your power. In order to set a fee, we have to give the public the right to be heard. And so this is why it's a separate hearing here. It's not technically a public hearing, but it is an opportunity for the public to be heard before we ever set a fee. You could set a fee at zero. It's just the actual ordinance itself allows for that. So it's like in the future, because fees are supposed to be paying back for the administrative costs of doing business. But if you guys decide that we don't want to necessarily do that and we want to operate as we were, you could just set it at zero.
Follow up?
Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Lindsay. So this is, you know what, I'm just going to be a proponent for a zero fee and we'll be done with the questions because I have a lot of them.
Councilor Kohler and then Councilor Duran.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Blaylock, how many of these are done a year? How many of these situations are we coming across?
As far as what was,
You said in practice, this is what we're doing in practice, but I mean, is this happening once a month, once every two or three times a year?
well, we don't have a permit fee or permit, but as far as I am aware, we do have the policy in place that you aren't to remove trees in the right-of-way. So I guess the only thing I could maybe speak to would be how many of those incidents do we have
Yes.
in which that problem exists. So I don't have that information with me, but I can find out.
Follow up?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So if I were building an ADU in my backyard, an accessory dwelling unit, and I had a row of trees in the front and I have to remove
two of these trees in order to allow
Yep.
someone access to that. I'm not gonna plant another tree there in that access, so how do we deal with that?
So you could apply for a removal and then that would be evaluated by the Public Works Department for and then anything that would be removed would have to be replanted or replaced.
How do we get into the ADU?
Yeah, I
That's a
could try to
good
answer
question.
this too, if you don't mind, Madam Mayor, is if somebody's doing an ADU, then there's going to be kind of the land use permit, the building permit process that goes on. And so there could be conditions that are put on here. There are provisions within this that also, if it's not feasible to plant a tree, because now you're building a driveway or whatever, there's also opportunities for people to either say, oh, I will, instead of buying a tree, I will put money into, there's a tree fund. And in fact, one of the reasons, and she doesn't know this because she wasn't here, her predecessor used to work with people and pay out of a tree fund that I think is decently robust. And so we're able to do some of this stuff because there has been a tree fund where when trees aren't feasible to plant, there's a little exchange, I guess, of the amount, the monetary amount, which I don't know if it's 150 or whatever it is, but I'm ill prepared to answer that specifically. But I have heard of this. I have heard of a few developers wheeling and dealing and trying to work this out with in my time here in the last few years. But it hasn't been that often. And then of course every once in a while trees rot or they or they ruin a sidewalk or whatever. So anecdotally I think it happens a couple times a year at least. It's a 7 square mile city.
Yeah. So,
Mr. Brown?
Madam Mayor, Ms. Blaylock, could you go over just the work that we're talking about that's involved here? I think we're talking about cutting it down and then grinding the stump and then replacing it with a tree. Is that right? And that's, we're staff hours from our street team.
Wait, they're doing the work?
Yes, we do it.
We do it.
Hence the cost.
To speak to the staff hours spent on tree remove or.
Right, that would be required to do something like this.
Well, according to the ordinance, like if there is damage to the sidewalks, our staff would remove the tree, grind it down, and then, the rest of the sidewalk repair or whatever, the replanting would be, the property owner. But, yeah, currently that would be, we would take that responsibility of removing. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to let the council know there's time that goes into that and equipment and it doesn't happen that often, but it's not a bad deal too if any of you have planted trees. I'm guessing most of us have, but.
So I'll come to you, but I promised Councilor Duran next.
I had the same question as Councilor Kohler, so.
Okay. So I had a question. So the 75 is an administrative cost recovery to the city because there is staff time in processing the application, checking the tree, and making sure that it's good to go and to what degree. And this tree belongs to the people of Keizer. It's in the right-of-way. So our practice that we adopted in the ordinance was to make sure that we continue to do that, but there is a cost. So this is cost, based on cost recovery. Is that where the 75 came from?
Yes, that is accurate. The intent of this was to protect the trees that are in our public spaces, our parks, and the right-of-way. And I know we have in the past had people remove those for various reasons. And so this is really intended to make sure that if they would like to remove that, they can get a permit and an assessment would be done. And there are exemptions and exceptions for hazard trees or trees with disease, ones that are doing damage to utilities, electric lines, interference, that sort of thing. So yeah, doing those evaluations is part of that administrative piece that we're trying to recoup, offset, we'll say.
Okay.
So that's accurate.
So it's making sure that the action taken regarding that tree is appropriate for that tree in that location. So if it's going to be trimmed, it'll be trimmed properly. If it needs to be removed, it'll be removed properly without doing damage to any utilities might be underneath. All the things that go around when you start mucking around in the right of way because you don't always know what's buried there. Okay, thank you. Councilor Christopher.
So the exemptions, Carrie, that you were talking about, so if I have a sick tree in front of my house and it's dying, it's on its way to dying, or it's dead, so I still have to pay $75 to remove the dead or dying tree in the right of way? Or is that an exemption that the city then deems that a safety concern and then the city takes care of it?
Well, I would have to look at the letter of the law to answer what the law says, because I don't have it right open in front of me. But what I would say is that common sense would dictate that because these are the street trees in the street right of way, that if somebody reports a diseased tree, or if code enforcement drives by and says that's, you know, a dangerous or dead tree, and we remove it, they're not asking for permission to remove it, we're removing it. So then it wouldn't even be we're not permitting somebody else to do the work, we would just do it ourselves.
So they're not going to be required to get a permit to say, I got a dead tree?
I'm not sure if that's answered. I can answer right now, if it were us acting, we see it or it's reported to us and we go and do it, say a neighbor complains, we look at it and it's true and we remove it, we wouldn't make them get a permit. We would just do the work, right? Because you can get a permit to have somebody else do work too.
Does it say that though in?
I will double check and make sure that the spirit of this darn thing has that in it.
Because it's, what you're talking about is subjective removal. I want to remove these trees for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's not a safety concern. It's not a dying tree. I just don't like them. I hate these leaflets. I want to put in a nice maple. So that
more
then,
leaves.
I could understand. But if it's a safety concern or if it's a sick or dying tree, I don't think we're charging folks $75. Okay.
And I will say this too, to add on to your point, just thinking out loud, is part of this process is if the sidewalk is being damaged, and that's one of the ways in which this happens, they're getting a permit for that. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure double permitting is something that you would want at that point either, if that makes sense. So I will double check on the law.
What the exemptions are.
And if we need to come back to you, we'll do it rightly.
Okay.
So, because it sounds like this needs maybe another look, can this be tabled for you to bring back to us after you've looked up some of these details and make sure that what we discussed tonight is captured in the ordinance and the enactment of that ordinance, in terms of any fee schedule? Would that be fair, Mr. Brown?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would take any questions or scenarios that you think of today, and we can go back and run them through the black box and see how that would come out for you. And so if you want to table this, we're perfectly fine to do that.
Yes,
We'll bring it back to you.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Did you have something to add, or Counselor Duran?
Yeah, so if a tree gets removed, for some reason or other, is there $75 going to be required to put a new tree in, or does the city put the tree in if the tree falls down and is that part of the same thing? Because it says tree removal and planting application fee. So is there two instances there?
I think the spirit of this was to try to have a mechanism for people to not only be able to ask if they can remove things, but then also what happens when all these scenarios happen? You know, like the sidewalks being busted up, or it's a dangerous or hazardous or diseased tree or whatever. But you're right, if, you could think of different scenarios where something just falls and then
Yeah,
now
tree
we're.
falls
Yeah.
down,
Do you have
to get a permit to
to
put a new
plant
in?
one?
Yeah.
And I don't think, I mean, I'm trying to remember back, but I don't think the spirit of it was to plant one. But I do think that I think the idea of getting permission to, okay, because there's a street tree list, so you have to operate within that. So I think it's just a mechanism for us to make sure and communicate what can be done, what can be, you know, the permission behind the permitting. So, but let us look anew at it and make sure that it answers all those questions.
Sounds good. Counselor Kohler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So do we already have in the budget funds to remove a tree and plant a new one? Because there's no way you're going to take a tree down, grind the stump, and plant a new tree for $75.
Yeah.
Mr. Wood?
I was going to say, as is our past practice, that gets absorbed into the respective funds, so probably the street fund.
All right, so this will come back to us. Do we need a motion to table, or do we do it by consensus that we'd like this brought back after further review?
It depends on if you want it for a very specific time or if you just want to have it open-ended.
When it's ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's ready.
Okay.
All right. Let's go on then to other business. This time is provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. Mr. Brown, does staff have any other business to bring to council this evening?
Madam Mayor, I do, and council, I do have one thing, and then the chief has one thing. I was contacted or asked to see if the Soil and Water Conservation District could come and speak either during public comment or during special orders of business to talk about what they are doing in our community. And if that's acceptable, then I would communicate back to them and schedule it for you.
The Marion Soil and Water Conservation District is another government entity that's over this area that does some amazing, really good projects on soil and water in our region. So I think
why
the
not?
question is whether we want to do just have them come under public comment, which is limited to 5 minutes, or ask them if they would like to make a presentation that's involves a little bit more time under special orders of business.
Yes, that's the question.
Public comment.
So you would prefer a 5-minute public comment, and then we have Q&A, because
Yeah.
Q&A extends the time. So presentation of 5 minutes and then Q&A,
Okay, I will communicate back to them.
anytime they want.
Thank you.
All right, Chief?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and councilors. This is just a heads up that the police department, myself, Executive Assistant Alejandro, and Lieutenant Tim Hine, we're applying for a grant. It's due March 13th, and it's for a virtual reality training scenario, 2 headsets, and also the training with that, all the equipment to go for it, and then also the overtime to train our own officers, reimbursement training to train our own officers and other agents, surrounding agencies. So it's some pretty high-tech training. If you've ever put on like the MetaQuest or the VR headset, it's pretty realistic, and you can build your own scenarios. What's really cool about this is we can put Imprint McNary High School hallway or City Hall into this headset and do training as if we're actually in that location. So,
Wow, cool.
yeah, it's pretty high speed. It's a grant for about $157,000 for all the equipment.
That you
And-
got or you're applying?
We're going to apply for it.
Oh,
And so it's due March 13th, and I'll keep you updated as to whether or not we accept it. And then once we accept it, then there's a final stage in which we actually accept it again based on requirements. So I'll keep you updated. Just want to give you a heads up, that's coming.
Nice.
So this is heads up, or do you need anything from us in order to make that grant application?
I do not need anything other than just to let you know we're going to apply for it. And then once the grant is accepted, once it comes back, we will do a budget adjustment to receive the funds, and that's where you'll come into play. You'll get to learn all the cool stuff about it. And then, if we end up getting it, we'll, invite you over to check it out.
Great.
Fantastic.
Now we're really in.
Well, I'm going to be Googling it, so yeah, want to learn more about that. Great.
I have a question on that.
Yes, thank you for keeping a heads up on opportunities for significant grants like this. Council President Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Does it help if there's like a letter of support from the council to include in that grant that we could take action on tonight?
So far, I didn't see any other options for letters of support attached to it, and we filled out all the paperwork. We just haven't hit the submit button. We will do that soon, but all the fields are completed. We had assistance from the actual vendor from the virtual reality, and the person we're working with says it's about 100%. The gal has said, I've never not received the grant funding. So
Oh, great.
it's through the Oregon Criminal Justice Division, and so.
So as somebody who's done a lot of grants, can
Yep.
we do it just in case?
Sure.
Because there's nothing worse than getting to 11:59 PM the night that you have to hit submit and realizing that, oh, I could have had a letter.
I will tomorrow submit, I'll give City Manager Brown all the information on the grant application and the information which we've done, and then you can,
But
and the
we would have to
information.
take action on that tonight.
I know.
We could give
Oh,
him
I
authority to
see.
submit.
Yeah.
You have to take action. That's-
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, feel free to take
Great.
lots of
Please
actions.
put that motion on the table, Council President Starr.
Thank you.
That was good.
Do you have any- I would like a motion to suspend the rules, take up the matter of writing a letter of support for this grant application.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and take up this matter. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, one absent. Council President Starr.
I move that the Keizer City Council write a letter of support for the Keizer Police Department's grant application for the virtual reality training system.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council authorize a letter of support for the grant application by the Keizer Police Department for the virtual reality system grant application. What she said.
Okay.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. All right, glad to support. Counselor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a point of clarification, if any of our committees or any of our departments wants to apply for a grant, is that something that needs to be approved by the council before it's applied for?
My recollection, I'll have to look into that. I can't give you an answer for sure unless Joe's got it.
I've seen an old resolution
It's somewhere.
that says basically if you are going to be applying for a grant that has any level of matching, then it has to come to you guys
Right.
That makes sense.
before applying for it.
And this is the 100% grant, is that correct, Chief?
That is correct. 100% funding by the grant, no police department funding or city funding in any kind.
Perfect.
Of
So,
people's money.
I like that.
yeah, because we spend it very well. All right,
Good job.
on the part of council, I do have a request. So we're doing other business and then we'll come around to staff reports. But,
Okay, gotcha.
I have other business.
okay, so I've got other business. Oh, we're on this.
Okay.
Okay, so on other business, I've got a request. We're in the final week of the short legislative session, which has been either three-ring circus or a huge rodeo, either, pick your metaphor. Or. There are three bills I would like to consider allowing us to at least put in a please do. One is Senate Bill 1517A, which is the reinstatement of the validity of liability waivers. This goes back to recreational immunity. This is something that we have supported in the past to make sure that we have recreational immunity for our city. And this would only be acceptable if it has the -11 or the -15 amendment, which would allow for those liability waivers to be effective, not just for the ski industry. This is a bill that was specifically for skiing, and it needed to be folded in, gut and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would like to get permission to notify the League of Oregon Cities that we would support the 1517A with either the -11 or -15.
You looking for consensus?
So, yes, I am looking for consensus, because I'm not writing letters. This has also been supported by the Oregon Mayors Association Legislative Committee. So, would there be any objection to me notifying the LOC and OMA that we would support Senate Bill 1517A with the -11 or -15?
No objection.
Councilors, Cross? I see your hand.
Sorry, operator error. Thank you for that, Madam Mayor. I would like to, just from watching this, I noticed that other councils have legislative committees, so I have no objection to that. I would just like to put out for further discussion that maybe we think about having a committee in the future, especially with the long session coming up, so we can talk about these bills ahead of time. And maybe have priority bills that we want to talk about going forward instead of maybe 5 days before. Putting those out there, that could be a more thoughtful approach.
Absolutely agree, especially for long session. And as you well know, the short session is a less than 1 hour notification. Yeah. But thank you. I think that's a great idea for us to talk about when we're doing our, our planning at the end of this year, and maybe even sooner. The other one is one that we've all been very, very frustrated with. And those are our friends with the Oregon Government Ethics Commission. The one we had to do the adjustment on food and beverage is now known as the hot dog bill. It's House Bill 4161. And this is one that would no longer look at food and beverage during a meeting as being part of our quote-unquote compensation, because we get so much compensation doing this job. So this is something that the League of Oregon Cities has been working with OGEC to see if they can simplify this and make this a non-issue like it used to be back before 2023 messed it up. So again, 4161, can we notify LOC and OMA that we would like to support the hot dog bill?
Yes.
Any objection? And Councilor Cross?
Do you support hot dogs?
Councilor Cross?
I'm still, sorry, thank you, Madam Mayor. So, the hot dog bill, so this is the one with the OLCC and the canned beverages, correct, Madam Mayor?
That is not. I am aware of that one that you're talking about, and no, this is the one that the Government Ethics Commission determined that if we have food or coffee as part of our council meetings, that it is compensation. So we actually had to change our personnel policy to address it. So it's been affectionately dubbed the hot dog bill.
I think this is kind of one of those things where, this is where I wish that we had like legislative agenda items, because we're coming up to right near the finish line that, yes, I agree on that one, but there's other bills now, but, Monday morning quarterback, that there's items that are the other city councilors that now, yes, we go down a rabbit hole on. So yes, I support that, but I think that we have opportunities to be more thoughtful in the long session.
Oh, I agree, and I've got a fairly hefty list. I figured these were the easiest 3 to deal with tonight, because I've been also following the land use and housing bills, which have gone through multiple variations and so forth. And I've also been following bills regarding, it was that canned beverage, the one that you mentioned, Counselor Cross, and also the one on the farm stands. So there's been a number of them that we could have weighed in on, but because of the short time frame during the short session, I was hoping at least these three we could weigh in on. Number 3 is the other part of the Government Ethics Commission that we have also struggled with. So I appreciate your comment. I agree with it. And the only reason I'm bringing these tonight is because we can maybe weigh in and fix some minor things that have been a pain in the neck. Thanks to the 2023 legislation. So 4161 is the hot dog bill. The other one is the one that has been a pain in the neck, again, with Government Ethics Commission, is House Bill 4177. It's the serial meeting law simplification. Yes, Councilor Christopher, this one. That would allow us to share information between meetings, i.e. you could bring information to put into a packet so the public could see it in advance. So Councilor Lindsay and I have gone round and round on this because I'm going, why can't we put it in the packet? Then the public can see it. He goes, we can't do that because of the way we wrote it. The way the legislature wrote it. I'm going, but that's crazy. And he goes, this would fix that. So I would like permission from you all to notify that we would like to support House Bill 4177 to simplify the public meeting, serial meeting law, so the public could actually participate in advance in public setting. So, Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So what you're asking us to do is allow you to contact some other entities who are, they're busy working with the legislature already, the LOC and the Oregon
Mayor's Association.
Mayor's Association.
These three are on the list for OMA and
Just
for,
clarifying.
yes, and for LOC, absolutely correct. And they have a much longer list that they're working on. And again, because of public meeting law, I can't poll you all and say, hey, House Bill blup needs some work, and can we lean in on this? Because I would love to, but if we don't already have a policy on the books, and on these two, we already do, because we've already dealt with these and had public comment. There's others I would love to engage with, and that farm stand bill is one I would have loved to have been able to dive in and help. We've never had that conversation. So I couldn't bring it again, because of Oregon Government Ethics Commission, you can't bring new information without doing it twice.
So ridiculous.
I know, it's driven me nuts. So anyway, with that, is there any objection to supporting House Bill 4177, the serial meeting law simplification, to allow sharing of information between meetings so we can get it out to the public?
No objection.
Thank you. I will be happy to carry those. Somebody else had other business for tonight. Councilor Christopher.
So I sent you the banner that the Cultural Center is going to put up. They're putting up a blue banner. It's in your text. And it's for the, I have to look up the word before I say it. Just a sec.
Oh, there it is.
It's the
I got it.
semi-quincentennial. So it's the America 250.
Oh, yeah.
So the Cultural Center is going to put a banner up on the building. It's navy blue, and, well, you can see what it says. It's generic, but yet it's got the logo for America 250. You're starting to see it everywhere. Well, they made an error, and instead of it being 12 feet long, it's 10 and a half feet long. So they're going to have to reprint it for us. I thought that might be an opportunity, if we're so interested, to put the same banner up at our front doors of the building, just celebrating America's, the youth counselor loves the idea. So that's why Adam and I ran out before the meeting started, because it was a very technical process, how we counted off how wide it is. And we both came to similarly about 11 feet. So we think it will fit right above the doors, our main doors as you walk in. So it would be there all year long, just saying, congratulations, America 250. We've made it to the I have to look for it up again. Semi-quincentennial. So I wanted to bring it to you, show you what it is. I told Pronto Signs I might have a fix for you it's a pretty generic sign, but I thought it would look great if we both had that sign up. It's gonna cost us $295. That's what it costs.
So I have a question. Our beloved sign code, will it allow it to be up all year? Because it would be more than, usually the temporary signs are 30 days and so forth. I think we're gonna have to run this through the sign code.
It's not on the street.
That's not the point, it's on the building.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know, yeah,
No, it's on the outside.
and that's why.
It's right by where the glass doors are, but it's above the glass doors.
We can call it a feather and it would be okay.
We can call it a feather?
Can we put it in the vestibule?
We can, it would look
Can we,
best.
okay, so,
There's a temporary permit version of the sign code that will allow for seasonal.
Oh.
And this would be a seasonal because
It's
it's
a
right
10-month season.
between now and July 4th. So we could do that fix.
okay,
Are we gonna allow that for anybody else that would ask?
but that, thank
We-
you,
If somebody asks
wouldn't
for, no, it's a provision in our code.
yeah.
So if somebody asks for it, we will entertain it.
Yeah.
So there is equal protection of law in this instance.
Yes, and we need to be equitable. That's why we had to take some of the letters off the building a while back, because we had too many letters on our building and we had to comply with the same sign code that we apply to everybody else. So thank you for that question. And so can we say yes and ensure compliance with our sign code?
Yeah, let's do that.
Any objection to that solution?
So do you need a motion? Do you need a motion to?
By consensus?
By consensus, great.
Okay, by consensus that we say yes in
And-
compliance with our sign code.
Yeah, figure out the sign code, okay.
Yeah.
I did feel like when we started stepping it off, though, that we were in like a duel,
A what, a
outside.
doorway?
A duel. Yeah.
Oh, stepping it
We were
off.
marking off feet and I was like, wait,
Were there any
Oh, a
plans?
duel.
Dual.
I thought, duel what? Okay,
Oh,
duel,
my
I get it.
goodness.
I don't
But
think,
we came up with the same answer. We said, yeah, 11.
I don't think I'll ever forget the discussion on the sign code.
Oh,
And somebody coming
don't
up
even
and
say the
saying,
word.
Reverend Brown.
Okay, well, I think it's gonna look great. I think that we want to lean into America 250. We loved the idea on the cultural center because we're a historic building.
Yeah.
You know, being over a century old, it's gonna look fabulous on the white building.
Now that you brought this up, you're gonna have to get a permit.
I've never done that before.
Check the code.
We never have.
We'll make sure that we are following the rules like everybody else.
Great,
It'll be good.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. And another location that will be having that same America 250, Oregon 250 is Volcano Stadium. So their 4th of July, they were also going, one of the events in this region that is part of the America 250. So we are a patriotic community. Sounds good. All right.
As long as the sign code allows it.
As long as the sign code allows. Yes, one of my favorites, that and palm trees, right? All right, before we get any sillier, let's go to staff updates. Mr. Brown.
just one for you. I received a request from Marion County Fire District, Keizer Fire District Chief Ryan Russell to send the letter for the federal request for that fire station. And because the council had authorized it for both state and federal grant application, I was just able to rewrite the letter and get it off to him within an hour. So
Perfect.
that's it.
Again, we know how to spend other people's money very well. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Wood.
Okay, north side of town, you got 1 week to go on the sewer reset. Conserve all the water you can, don't take a shower for the next week, you'll be great. Or go visit someone on the south side of town for a shower. So your pocketbook will appreciate you because your sewer is a flat rate that gets set during this time of year. It's based off of your water consumption, so keep the water consumption down and your sewer bill will be lower. That's it. Thank you. Carry on.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Bissett.
Nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Chief.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Councilors. It's been a busy month of February for us. It will come out this week, the social media posting on our calls for service. We're going to kind of stagger it because we have a lot going on. I will say that it looks like tomorrow we will get the policing analysis report done, completed in the morning. And I will say one thing, we did a lot of work on it on the police side, but our city manager, this last rendition, I know that he spent hours and hours and hours and hours of work on separating the fees that you asked, the task force asked for, and put it into some nice, really nice readable graphs. That's going to go into, and that we just have a couple more that he completed that we need to add to the final completed process. But it's between us and really those two handsome men sitting over there. The final report is pretty robust. So something that the citizens and you guys as a council can look at and refer to and make decisions on what's best for our city. So happy to say that's done and we'll be able to put out to the public tomorrow. So, but again, big thank you to City Manager Brown. He kind of put the cherry on the top of the whole report and kind of finalized some things that the task force was asking for. So great job, phenomenal. We attended Read Across America today at Kennedy Elementary, so we had several officers up there, and that was just a great event. It's always fun. I didn't go, but I was busy all day, but we had officers go there. And you'll see it later in the week, but we did respond to 1,389 calls for service in February, which is about just under 49 calls a day, to include some of those major calls that we responded to, which tied up, I couldn't even count how many hours of investigative work. So anyways, you'll see all those numbers come out. It's been busy. Our guys and gals are working super hard and burning the candle on both ends. So anyways, that's all I have for you tonight.
Well, a couple things. One is I was also at Kennedy, and this was the book I read to the kids. So I saw you guys' name on the list, and thank you for being part of that Read Across America. It's a lot of fun, but it also really encourages our students that reading is extremely important for everybody in the community. So that was a great event. Thank you to Kennedy for that invitation. And I think this goes to you somewhere between police and public works. I got an email commending Ben Crosby for the work on code enforcement for removing a large buildup of vehicles in the area of Cynthia and Joan. And the person who was emailing me, so that goes to you, Chief. So he did a great job working with, getting all those removed, working with the neighbors there. They felt heard and they really appreciated the promptness in which that mess was handled. And it was a heck of a mess.
Was that the trailer guy?
Trailers.
It was the trailer guy with like 13, 11 trailers spread all over the west side of Keizer. Thank you for that. That's great. It was a dual effort. I know that Ben is employed by us, but he still uses and needs resources from the public works side. So it was a dual effort. Although I'd like to take all the credit, I just can't. Thank you very much to our public works folks who helped out, and to our garbage service as well. So everybody works together and collaboratively. It was a nuisance for a long time, and we had multiple callers. And I will tell you, this is something that we pay attention to, and we allotted a lot of resource and time to solving that problem, and kind of some out-of-the-box thinking and some of that. And Ben does a phenomenal job. And I will also give credit because he works alongside with our other CSO, Mrs. Breitbach, and CSO Breitbach, and they together are a dynamic duo.
Fantastic. Ms. Blaylock.
Thank you. So our annual consumer confidence report went out to customers. You might have received one already. It's also available on our website for viewing. That kind of updates everyone on our drinking water quality. It's required every year. We also have our partnering with the Mid-Willamette Outreach Group on the Great Raindrop Scavenger Hunt. You might have seen an email about that. It runs through March at Keizer Rapids Park in Keizer and then in Bush Pasture Park in Salem. That is just a fun way to draw attention to drinking water quality, and while you're out in the park exploring. So it's a lot of fun. I hope you will check that out. It's also on our website. And then Bill Lawyer had worked quite a long time on a project known as the Arts Grant. And I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but he had worked on that and the design had been funded. But I just heard on Friday that the construction will be funded as well. So you will see that coming up very soon. So it's an all roads transportation safety grant. And essentially what that is to provide traffic signal, the flashing yellows, for all 10 intersections that currently don't have the arrows for left turns. So we'll get signal upgrades, which will help with traffic congestion. So yeah, that we will have a match, so you'll see an agreement coming about that. But I was really excited. I know Bill had worked on that for a very long time, and so it landed. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's arts. Of course, we all have the acronyms for everything. But anyway, that landed, and I know if Bill were watching, he'd be really excited about that. So I just wanted to share.
Yeah. That's fantastic news. Congratulations. That is going to be wonderful for us. Thank you. Mr. Lindsay.
I can add a little bit to Carrie's report too, because this week you gave us another 180-day moratorium, but this week, Wednesday, we're meeting with some of the neighbors around the vegetated stormwater facilities. And so we do want to take seriously the command that we're supposed to be working with the neighbors and coming up with options that they not only know about, that we work together with them. So one of their chief spokespeople who came and spoke, he was visiting or far away because of his mother, and so he wasn't even available until now. So thank you for the moratorium so that we can work with the neighbors and follow your guys' direction. Otherwise, one little, I want to kind of put this in everybody's mind to think about is when we meet on Saturday, right, to talk about the police fee. I've been trying to do some research about elections and not only backdating how we can get what we want out of the election and the timelines and all of that sort of stuff. But I also did some research about whether or not we can do currently, whether or not we could do just an advisory vote versus whether we had to put actual municipal legislation on, because we don't actually have an ordinance that says advisory votes. And so if you guys want to do an advisory vote, we can do a quick ordinance to just allow us to be able to do advisory votes. So, okay, so I'm trying to put that in your ear. Maybe that's for Saturday. And then we can do that quickly so that you guys could have that option as well. So just wanted to put that out there. Otherwise, happy to be here. See you Saturday. Yeah.
Fun times. Yep, it's going to be good. We have a great report to read between now and then as well, if we haven't finished it. Speaking of which, so this data that's just been published, that just got finished, I know I need a print copy.
There's one in that office.
Okay. Can I get a print copy that I can take with?
It's in the office.
Oh, we already have them? So I've been printed for everybody?
There were two of them in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that you have in your packet has all the data. The one that Chief Copeland is talking about is Alejandro from his department went through, and it added a more professional look to it. But the report that's in your box is complete and.
We all have a
has
printed
everything.
report.
Yep.
Okay.
But the one,
No.
like I said, the one that'll go online tomorrow will look a lot prettier. It
Same
does,
information, but prettier.
yes,
Okay.
yep. It really looks good.
But we don't all have a print copy.
There are 3 reports printed on the table, but if you'd like one, let me know.
Okay, I know I want one.
I'd like one.
Okay. So that's 2 out of the 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Are we gonna run short, or is everybody else good with, you already have yours?
Have mine.
Okay, anybody else need one?
I think I've seen the biggest majority of it.
You've already seen a lot of it?
Many times.
Yeah,
That's why we want it. They've already got it.
yeah, they've got them. And then, Counselor Parsons, so we'll, Counselor Christopher, you and I will take, and then we'll put the third one into Counselor Parsons' box. Okay. We will use the resources we have. Fantastic.
Soraya want one.
So, Counselor Cross, would you like a copy of a print copy of the police report?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Would you like a print copy of the entire police, services report?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, then we're good with what we have. Let's go to council member reports. Counselor Duran.
Well, I'll make mine quick as usual. Last Tuesday, the SCATS Policy Committee officially agreed to return the almost $1.3 million for the Verta Road surplus. So we won't see that right away, probably be like after July. But we did approve that it coming back for us to use and them not to keep. So that'll happen, up until Tuesday, it was just a suggestion, and now we've made it official. So that's good to hear. And then Wednesday, I think I was the only other one at the community dinner except for Dan, right? I didn't see any of you guys.
At another meeting, but thanks for calling us out, Brett.
I never show up, so it just happened to be that I was there. So that's it.
So you got dinner, that's what you're letting us know. Okay. We'll have to check with Oregon Government Ethics Commission, see if that's allowed.
Was it a hot dog?
Hot dog or pizza?
No, it was a baked potato bar, and it was very
Oh,
good.
that's
was,
always
is that
so good.
Everybody in the public was invited to that,
Yes.
so he was not invited only because
Yes.
he was on the council. So he's okay.
Well, I quickly have to comment. So there were, was there 30 of the people? 30
40
people
in the school
from the seminary. And we sat down with a young kid that we spent probably half an hour talking to him about his life journey and how how he's planning on being a priest. And that was a very great time, talk to these young kids, early 20s.
Cool. All right, thank you much. Counselor Christopher.
So Monday, we had a city hall, and that was on returning the pavilion as it was originally programmed back into the Parks Board. And there was a lot of people there. There was, what would you say, Adam, 35 or so?
Oh,
no, there was
80 to
like-
100.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I guess 75, so.
Oh, I didn't realize there were that many.
Yeah.
So
Closer.
it was good, it was great discussion, and the consultant was the one who led the discussion. And I think that everybody got to state how they felt about it. And they'll come back with a recommendation. On Tuesday, in Keizer Public Arts Commission, they approved the dang master plan after a mere 18 months. And so that'll come to you guys for approval. And because of that, they can move forward with the storm drain art, which finally got put in there in the final form. But here's what you have to know. So artists, so they've chosen 2 locations for the, that they want to focus on. One of them is Shamawa and 15th Street, and there's pictures. I made a post, but I'm sure they're going to be on the website too.
Oh,
as well
that way.
as the,
Shemawa down by, towards Keizer Rapids Park. You're
That's right.
talking about Shemawa
That's
North.
exactly right.
Okay.
And the other one is, oh, Adam, help me. I can't remember. It's by the school. It's,
Specify.
that one. I can't remember what it is.
Is it the one that Counselor Duran's,
No. Oh, no. Oh, no, you're talking utility boxes.
Oh.
I'm talking drain art.
oh, the drainer, yes.
I'm talking drain art. So this is a collaboration between Keizer Public Arts Commission and Environmental Services. And so they're working together. We had to get it into our master plan because we're going to pay prize money for the selected artists and they have to submit art. They have until June 1st is only, that's it. And there's 2 locations, and it is on the website. I know that Dawn put it on there. I just can't remember the other location. One is Shemawa and 15, and the other one is right by a school.
Clear Lake Elementary, I think.
Thank you, Clear Lake. And so, and there's a sample of what drain art looks like, and they have to use the terminology only rain down the drain. And the reason it's a collaboration is it's really an educational, they have an educational requirement for NPDE.
MPDES,
Yes, that.
the National Pollution.
They have to do an educational piece, and this is one of those pieces of the piece. So it could be fun, but I mean, it's got to go fast. You've got to have that art in by June 1. And the other thing is, we had new art submitted for a utility box. Did Claire talk to you? Did you approve it? And Counselor Kyle Duran will be donating this box, and it's Deborah Cisco is the artist, and it's 4 scenes from Keizer, and it's really great. So she's working with Adam on that to get the sizing done right. And then we had 2 others submitted, which were great, by a indigenous artist, but they're not sized correctly. So we had to send them back, say, resize them for us, and then we can approve those 2. So there's fun, new utility box art coming. The end.
Street art?
No, but working on, close. So street art, let me tell you what's happening. So one of the art teachers at McNary, who is Mark Colai, has retired. He had the audacity to retire. And he was the one that led all this public stuff with the kids. So now Todd Layton has had to take over, and he's got all the kids working on specific designs, and I think they're gonna do the street where the pinch is, that we worked on. We've just reopened that street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the one over near the high school.
Yeah, what's the name of the street?
Sandy, Robindale,
It's not
around,
Robindale.
it's Elizabeth.
It's
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
it's off at Elizabeth where it
Yeah,
turns.
so I think that's what they're working on. So the McNary kids are working on it. So they're supposed to have a design by the end of school, and then we'll see if we can get it done this summer. So exciting things are happening.
Cool. Council President Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, Wednesday, I was at the, Counselor Trina. I was at the Keizer EO Sister City Association meeting, so with the, otherwise known as KISCA, so between Keizer and EO City in Japan, moving forward on that sister city relationship. So that was Wednesday while you were having baked potatoes. Prior to that, obviously, as you heard earlier, I attended the traffic safety meeting. Thank you for agreeing to a work session with the, it's not traffic safety. I'm gonna suggest that we start fining ourselves.
25 cents.
I was gonna go $1, but okay. Wow. I mean, maybe put it to street art.
I'm in, it's a buck.
So anyway, multimodal meeting, a safety meeting, so thank you for agreeing to that work session. Town hall, it was fabulous. I think that what that showed is that it's important that we have those opportunities to listen to our community and our residents. So, pardon?
Town halls are working.
It was good. And then last Thursday had the library board meeting, our Keizer Community Library Board meeting, and I just think that group of volunteers, just does so much, and does return on investment, to this community that I think is really hard to calculate for both our children and our families. And they will be coming to do their annual report, to the council in the next couple of, meetings. I think it'll be probably the next meeting. They'll plan to come and report out, and I just have so much exciting stuff that they have been doing, but I don't want to steal their thunder. But there's one really exciting new program. I know, it's so hard, but it's fun.
Very exciting. Oh, and the book sale is coming up, isn't it, in May?
In May. So if anyone has books they want to donate, and you're doing some spring cleaning, please consider taking those books to the library, so that they can, that's how they get their collection, is through donations. And then what they don't use for their own collection, then they put into the book sale. So please, if you're cleaning out books, consider.
And they take audiobooks.
Yeah. So.
And DVDs and even VHS, all of the things.
So.
Yep, puzzles. They'll even take those, yep. So it's great, kids' activities and things, so donate them and get them out of your closet and back into use. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. Counselor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Only 18 months to approve master plan change.
Just a mirror. I'm working with artists. Did you miss that? Did you miss that part?
That was
Only
without a
18
consultant too, so. No consultant needed.
Only 18 months. Yeah, so I got to go to the town hall too. That was quite a gas. There were a lot of interesting comments from a lot of, you could tell there were certain groups that had kind of got together and said, this is what we want, and we don't want this. So it was quite a diverse group of people in their attitudes about anything happening in the park. So a couple of things. So you talked about traffic signal boxes. The traffic box at 14th and Lock Haven has been tagged. It doesn't have a wrap on it. It's just a bare
I know,
box.
when you were saying that, I'm thinking, we have.
We felt the disturbance in the force.
So I noticed that it was tagged when I drove by the other day, and I went, oh, we need a wrap there. Anyway.
I think there's one.
So a couple things coming up. The annual Civic Center cleanup is March 14th, so that's just around the corner. And that's Clay Creek Watershed Council and Keizer Rotary and the Satellite Club. That's their project Saturday from 9 to noon. And I hope you all come for that. If you can't come on Saturday and you feel like, hey, I like to wield a machine, and there's some trimming and things that'll be done on Friday starting at 8 o'clock. And so contact me or Matt Lawyer about that part of that. And then, of course, Keizer Community Dinner, we served 229 people, and some of the potatoes that we served were that big.
He's still angry.
Did you say, can I have 4 of those? We would have done it. But,
I'm gonna go find them very large.
but when the potatoes came out of the oven, they were still kind of warm, and they set them on the table, and I grabbed a piece of foil and I wrapped all of those with my bare hands. So they say that I can grab things that are hot and it doesn't bother me. So I don't know what that says about me. But so Keizer Community Dinner,
Don't
we
put
had
hot potato with them.
30 people from the seminary, and part of their assignment was to sit at tables separate from each other and visit with people. So if they did that, that was great. And it was good for them to do that. This Thursday at 5 p.m. is the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Government meeting in Monmouth.
Correct.
And March 10th is the state of something, state of the city.
State of confusion?
Can be.
Yeah.
There are times. So I think that's enough for now. Yeah, that's enough for now. And when the meeting's over, I'll talk about something else.
All right, sounds good. Counselor Cross.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be via Zoom. It's been a fast and furious last 4 weeks. I think one of the highlights is Salem Leadership Foundation and being able to present with Mayor Clark and Council President Shaney Starr. That was fun. We missed you, Councilor Duran. And today, I think a highlight in between what's going on personally is being able to judge for the 9th year with the Orla Pro Start Culinary Judging. I went over the convention center, and our C-Tech students won in both management and culinary, and they will go on to nationals in Baltimore in April. So I know we have tons of Keizer students that were part of that. So I just want to, all of us, to just give a big celebratory hurrah to all of them. And I hope to see more of our high schools compete. We had about 9 or 12 as the biggest competition group since COVID. So the more we can see every year, the more the merrier.
So when is that, when is the one in Baltimore?
In April.
Okay.
And so last year, C-Tech students, the management team, they placed top 10 last year. For the culinary, none of our state culinary made it, but now this year, both culinary and management teams made it. And I want to recognize that I believe, from what I read, that our McNary wrestlers made it.
They did.
Statewide. And I'm just going to throw it out because it's my 2 minutes of counselor. I would challenge our staff to find a way to recognize our Senator Kim Thatcher for 20 years of service to our city.
Would you like to, and I know you are very, very busy right now, would you connect with me offline and let's talk about what that, some ideas on what that could look like?
Yeah, what that looks like, because we have so many wonderful servants right now that have reached that 30-year mark, but I think that with all of our creative minds, we can do great good.
All right. Yeah, if you would reach out to me, then we can look at what that could look like to provide our thanks from our community to Senator Thatcher.
Okay. Yep, will do.
Okay, sounds good. I will just wrap up a couple of things. You guys covered a great deal. On the 20th, I was able to go with City Manager Adam Brown up to the Japan Japan America, I have my acronym wrong on my paper, Japan America Society of Oregon. So they did a summit with sister cities from around Oregon, and one came as far as from Idaho Falls. So we got to learn from other organizations, some of which have been around for 50 years, what they have done as sister cities. They had great ideas, but they were also looking at what we've established with our Keizer EO Sister City Association, and also got a great idea from, I think it was Eagle Point, that they also have a youth council, which is something that I think we will very much want to move forward. And we've got leads on young people who would like to be part of that. So I'm really excited how this is going to evolve. And then we went to the reception for the Emperor's birthday, and that was very well attended. And we got to, again, meet with people from state agencies and international trade, as well as sister city organizations.
Did they have hot dogs?
No hot dogs, so I think we're good. I'm part of the, and one of the reasons I brought these tonight is I'm part of the League of Oregon Cities Legislative Committee and the Oregon Mayors Association Legislative Committee. To Councilor Cross's point, there's a real opportunity to continue to get information out to the council, and I'm really hoping that this legislation on the Government Ethics Commission passes so I can then get that to you so you have it informational. and a little more easily, and then we can bring it to city council for more rapid action next year. Also, we do participate in the biennial establishment of League of Oregon Cities legislative priorities, and that will be coming to you by the end of summer. I've been assigned to the Land Use and Housing Policy Committee once again, and I think I'm on transportation. I think I'm on both those. I don't know if you all applied, but I was asked to be on those once again. So I'll try to bring you information as well. Coming up, yes, on the 10th, I will be giving the State of the City address, and that will be at noon on the 10th. Free to attend. If you want lunch, there is a cost. That's through the Keizer Chamber of Commerce. And then on Thursday evening, the 12th, the neighborhood associations are doing a gathering, so I will do a recap of the state of the city, but more of a Q&A kind of conversational presentation. So if you want to ask questions or have conversation about that, please come Thursday evening, starting at 7 p.m. 6 p.m. that night will be the Clagger Creek Watershed Council, so if you're interested in that, please come by and learn what's happening with there. Of course, on the 14th, the Civic Center cleanup. The COG dinner on Thursday night, Councilor Kohler mentioned that. And anything else on here? This Thursday morning, this community business education leaders will be having their bi-monthly meeting at the rec at 8 a.m. morning. Yeah, I just got that, a.m. Plenty of coffee. The theme this month is From Fragile to Resilient, supporting parents to build strong foundations for early learning. That's going to be fantastic follow-up to the conference that was held here at our Civic Center last week. It was on Saturday. They had about 300 educators here talking about, from the Early Learning Hub, to talk about early literacy and supporting teachers, families, neighbors who want to be supportive for our students so we can get our literacy rates climbing as they should. And with our wonderful community library, we should have the highest reading rates in our region, so let's make that happen. Teach our kids, encourage our kids, read them Stella Luna, and all the wonderful books that we have available. So let's do that. With the, I had a note here, with the Early Learning Hub conference, I wanted to extend to our event center staff that they all said what a great experience they had working with our staff here at our event center, and they wanted to let us know that they had a great appreciation for using the place here. They felt welcome, cared for, and as they had to adapt as more and more people registered, there was no problem. Our staff was like, sure, we'll make that happen. So major thank you for them. Okay, that concludes our council member reports. And we have agenda input. So this Saturday, we will meet starting at 9 a.m. to go over the data that we have in this wonderful report and the work of our police fee task force. Looking forward to that conversation. Monday night at March 9th, starting at 6 p.m., the Long Range Planning Task Force will be meeting. And then on Monday, March 16th, starting at 6 p.m., City Council will meet in regular session. We have a Monday off for good behavior, otherwise known as spring break. And then on Monday, March 30th, starting at 6 p.m., we will have our annual, this is biannual, semi-annual, twice a year, whatever that is. Thank you. Meeting with the Community Diversity Engagement Committee to go over the work that they've done, and they want to check in with us. So March is really, really full. That is all I have. Is there anything else for the good of the order? I'm not seeing it. 8:33, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.
Cool.